Hi, I'm Rachel Whitefield, certified life coach, and with me is our resident goodbye goddess, Jackie Black. Thank you for joining us on another fabulous episode of Whiskey Bent
Spellbound with Black.
and Whitefield.
Rachel, it's
Jackie,
another week. What are we drinking?
I am so glad you asked. I think we are twinning today as we are both drinking Uncle Nearest 1856 premium whiskey once again on our show. I know we haven't exactly paid the whiskey budget, so we are stretching it, and we are just going to stretch it with the good stuff.
Love.
But I didn't
Did you?
make any ice this week.
I was just
For
gonna
getting.
ask you if you made any ice
No,
mold.
I have freezer ice, but I am sporting today the Fancy Sprinkles Diamond White Prism Powder in my whiskey today. So we're just going to go with the white glitter in my whiskey in my Denver highball cup glass. What are you doing today?
Whiskey neat. Neat, neat,
Whiskey.
neat, neat,
Neat,
neat.
neat, neat. That is how you like your whiskey.
It is how I like my whiskey. I just, listen, I forgot to make ice. Been
Mm-hmm.
crazy busy.
Yes.
And I've been sober, so I've been drinking a lot of water. So I actually just ran out of ice.
I
I just
mean,
have not been drinking. Like we drink on the show,
mm-hmm.
and then I just have not. Like I've been just sipping on the show, and then I just have not the rest of the time. And it's because I needed what we're going to talk about today.
Yes, which is
Closure.
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 Mm-hmm.
The goodbye you give yourself, quite frankly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, well, Clinkies,
Clinkies.
Clinkies.
Mm.
Mm,
Ooh,
it's so good.
goes down warm. Goes down warm. I love it. I love it.
Okay,
So let's just go like dive right into it, I
dive
guess.
right in. Let's go.
I'm feeling really, really good because I personally feel like I've gotten closure for myself. So I'm really excited to talk about it because I feel like we lie to ourselves a lot when it comes to closure.
It's true. And to put it into context, you went through a breakup recently. A romantic relationship had come to an end, and so you were just dealing with the feelings of the end of that relationship.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
hadn't been in like a real committed relationship and I really was like at a place where I thought, "Oh, this is why I needed to like learn the lessons." Like for some reason, I just thought that right at the beginning. Nope,
Hmm.
red flag. Huge red flag. Um was not. And like I just felt like at the end of it, I don't know, like I was not expecting for it to end the way it did.
Hmm.
It was traumatic and very short.
Hmm.
So closure is like something that I feel like I've been working at for the past couple of weeks,
Hmm.
just by talking about not only the topics that we have been discussing,
Hmm.
um, but also just like going through it raw and feeling the emotions of it all. So like, what is closure?
Yeah, let's
What
define it. So, like, what is closure? And so, as we define it, we're going to say it's the emotional resolution after an ending. So, a relationship, a friendship, a job, etc. How can you kind of stop ruminating on it and kind of put it to bed, put it down? In
right?
my mind, I always say, how do I let this get dusty in my mind?
That's a good
That's
one.
yeah. Like I was like, oh, I forgot about it. I let it get dusty because I had put it down.
Hmm.
So closure to me, that's how I really define it, is like I can mentally put this down now.
Right.
So yeah.
It's just about making peace with what happened for
Yeah. Oh,
yourself.
yeah, and I think it's the point where your nervous system finally exhales. Like it's not necessarily about moving on, and we know that healing is not necessarily linear, but I think it's about making peace with whatever has happened in your life and accepting. Like some things don't change, like whatever it is, like accepting that and then integrating that experience into your story without it defining your future. So, like
Yeah.
I always like I said, I have to make things simple for me to be like, "Oh, I got it." You know? It's like
Mhm.
I need to put it down mentally and now it gets dusty.
Yeah.
So, it's like so closure can look like a lot of different things, you know? So it's like sometimes it looks like crying out, it's unfollowing them or blocking them for your own personal peace. And sometimes it's finally like sleeping through the night or going through the day without thinking about this person or like the situation that's going on in your life or whatnot. So, like, I always believe like closure is the thing that you give yourself. You can't get it
Yes.
from anybody else.
Right.
So like
Exactly.
how do you feel about closure?
It's just if we try to get it from someone else, that's where we're going to get stuck.
Hmm.
That's it's closure is just an inside job. You have to do it for yourself. Like what I did was I just blocked, delete, forgot. I
And
I would like
you're
to
not a
call
blocker.
I'm a blocker and I feel like no, well, so normally I'm not a blocker.
Hmm.
Normally I'm like you can watch me thrive, bitch.
Hmm.
But this time I felt like I was watching for him, watching for me.
Hmm.
And I needed to stop that and take my power back. So it's an inside, like I said, it's an inside job. When we choose perfect closure,
Hmm.
we're chasing control. And that's what I was doing. We want to rewrite the ending. We want like this movie ending or something like where they're like, oh, yes, you're right. And I'm sorry. And I'm going to let you go. And I'll always love you. Like there's going to be some neat bow.
Hmm.
But
Wrapped up real
that's
nice.
what, yeah, it's not wrapped up really nice. You have to do it for yourself. It will not come from the person who you are leaving because they hurt you or for the person who is hurting you because they are leaving.
Yeah, and just looking back on my previous life experiences when it comes to closure, it's like say it was a relationship that came to an end and say you got a really good conversation out of it. That person met you and like said, "Hey, we finally got to have our say about it." Okay. But like for me, it's like, okay, I might feel kind of a little bit better about the situation, but I could still ruminate and think about it in my own mind. So it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, even if that person does give you that conversation or does give you that moment or, you know, we lived, we loved, like was
Yeah.
mutually let go on. But it's like I I will keep myself from having that full closure because
Yes.
I haven't put it to bed yet.
Yes.
I haven't put it down yet. You know, it might help me get there, but it's like the true closure comes from me. It does not come from this other person. If anything, a person might be able to help a little,
Yeah.
but it kind of just has to like wear away naturally almost.
You have to bury it and you
Yeah.
have to I feel like sometimes we really rely on each other to be able to like bury it. So we just
Hmm.
talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. And then it's
Hmm.
like, I'm so fucking done talking about this.
Hmm.
When I felt that way, Rach, like I just snatched my power back
Hmm.
and did something. It was almost like, oh, I've learned this lesson before. What I didn't do last time is what I'm gonna do this time. Block, delete, done.
Hmm.
In the words of one of our great goddesses, Our Lady Taylor Swift,
Hmm.
you don't have to forgive. You don't have to forget.
Hmm.
You can just move on and be indifferent
Yeah.
about that person.
Hmm.
And when I did those actions, when I performed those actions and blocked and like took even his access to view me
Hmm.
away,
Hmm.
I felt like I snatched back my need for closure from him
Hmm.
and gave it to myself, gave my power back to myself, and am now super indifferent. And it didn't, it, that action was so fast. It just
Because
done.
it's almost like you were the chooser.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting, like, did he look at my story? And then you're seeing who's looking at your stories or whatnot. You're like, oh, no, I choose in my power. You don't get to have access to me. Because again, if I may, I came across this meme. I shared it with you on Instagram. It was like some men just want to ignore you all to themselves, which
All
was
to
some men just want to ignore you all to themselves. Snap, snap, snap.
I'm clacking my nails to that.
Yes.
Oh,
And so you're like, wow, like a truer statement has not been said in Jackie's life as of late. So it's just more of like, hey, instead of being passive and be like, hey, is he looking at my stories? Is he doing this? Whatever. You're just like, you don't get access to it anymore because you
no.
showed me that you didn't want it.
You showed me that you did not care for
Hmm.
my feelings as a human being. You don't get to even view me anymore. You don't get to hear my voice. You don't get to see my face.
Mm-mm.
Taking back my presence in your life.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna let you have it. There's like there's like this myth that things need to be the way closure is on TV.
Yeah. Hmm.
Like wrapped up in a the neat bow. You said that earlier.
Yeah.
Someone chases you through an airport or a train station. It's raining. There's a last kiss, a clear answer. It
Hmm.
feels complete. There's a goodbye. There's still a little bit of romance
Hmm.
and longing, but no, dude, life is so much messier than that.
And we also aren't inside the minds of those characters just to be like, are they ruminate? Are they like driving themselves crazy in the prison of their own minds?
Right.
Speaking from experience, you know?
Right.
Because it's like, oh yeah, and then the next episode, everything's gonna be fine, or she's gonna move on. It's like they don't ever like get stuck on, being heartbroken or whatever. You're like, TV is like on to the next, on to the next. That's one thing I never identified with in like shows. It's just like, oh, I couldn't date that serially, like in Friends or
Like
what have you.
one
You
right
know?
after the other.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And
Because you needed like time
yeah.
in a
And these
relationship. Yes.
characters are not real people, which is why like people can be disposable, but that is neither
Right.
here nor there. But
Exactly.
I mean, like I think there can be a lot of different types of closure as well.
You're very, very, very right. There is
Hmm.
a lot of different types of closure. Mental closure,
Hmm.
they talk about it. They wish each other well.
Oh,
Uh,
mutual closure.
yeah, just mutual, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we tried it out. We're just gonna be friends. I've really only experienced this like once where you remain friends. Like I've seen people do it. I don't know how it works, but me and the bartender are friends
Hmm.
and very, very good friends. And it's very mutual that like, no, we're not gonna date. This is not gonna be a dating thing.
Hmm.
We are cool as homies. That's as
Yeah.
close as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
Nobody, please do not think we are a couple. And then there's like one-sided closure. I feel like this is what I got with this last relationship because I
Hmm.
did eventually get a phone call from him. He did not really give me any answers for why he did what he did, which was lure me in
Hmm.
to what now seems kind of like a not so much narcissistic, but maybe like BPD. I'm not really sure. I don't know if he knew what he wanted when he lured me in and love bombed me and things like that. But
Hmm.
one-sided closure is just where like one person has to move on without any real answers, and that's what I've done.
Hmm.
I've just snatched back my power and I'm like, I don't even really care what your answers are anymore. I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't
Hmm.
care because they're never gonna be good enough for how you fucking did me.
Hmm.
You bitch.
Yeah, where it's like this is
Ugh.
the closure that you have to give yourself. So like there's also other types of like closures as well, like ghost closure, like no explanation, just abandonment. Like you have to give it to yourself.
Oh,
Like you have to go through that process of like, I don't understand what happened or what have you. It's just like, mm,
Imagine, I've never been ghosted like after a long-term relationship,
mm-mm.
like a full breakup, like where they just ghost you. But I've seen
No.
that shit on TikTok, like
Yeah.
where this girl came home and her, I mean, your dude's stuff was gone when you came home, but he didn't like he told you where he went. This guy did not answer his texts, nothing.
Hmm.
His family was like, "Oh yeah, he moved to Texas," and he never told her that
Yeah.
he was leaving. He just left and moved to Texas. So that's crazy.
Hmm. Yeah. And then, yeah, like when my husband had moved out and then told me, like, hey, we're broken up, I was like, oh, good. Thank you. Like, do I have a say in this? But, anyways, I'm an advocate for divorce. Best thing that ever happened to me for sure.
I know.
But again, it took a long time to get closure and to process through it. But it's again, let's talk like moving on to like self closure is deciding for yourself that it's over, regardless of any unanswered questions. And this one is super powerful. It's when you take your own personal power back. You know,
The
it's
way
like you
I
just
did that.
accept that it's like maybe like the lesson will come later. You don't have to have a lesson in real time recently. Or it's like the journey, the forest through the trees and the journey and the look back is like, oh, okay, I'm thankful for the growth or what
Yeah.
have you. You know, it's like, oh, I could finally put it down or start thinking about it differently through
Self
time.
self closure and one-sided closure are very, very similar. I just
Hmm.
think that one one side, I don't know. I
Hmm.
get both? Did I have both?
Both. Did you do it? Both.
Did I do both? Who cares as
Mhm.
long as it's closed.
It's
Slam,
close.
locked the fuck shut.
I will say, like, um, I know we're mostly leaning into like romantic relationships closure. However, closure can comes with jobs or situations or whatever.
Yeah.
But right now, and again, so I used to work on the NASA web modernization team, you know, and then when the contract ended, I was laid off. And that was a very challenging time for me. We've talked about it on the show a little bit, being a little wayward in my career. But then
Mhm.
I have a friend who is currently on that project still, and there is a person that through contract, all the new contract upheaval and whatnot, there's someone that is now in that position, and they're not doing well.
Mm.
Because I was the communication specialist, and they're like, they are not communicating anything. They're not, it's not happening. And it's like, huh, I mean, I don't know this person outside of like a vague work acquaintance who is now doing my former job, but it's not what they're doing, but it's just the closure of like I did a good job.
Yeah.
I know she's still piggybacking off the back of my work, you know.
Oh my
That
God.
stuff hasn't been
You
updated in
made
like
all
eight
those
months.
SOPs. Yes.
Yeah. And so now it's like the closure that I have from this position is like, I don't miss that job. I'm so glad I had it. But I also am very, very thankful
Yeah.
of the growth that that position gave me, but also to look back. And even though I had so much anxiety on that job and like second guessed myself all the time, but it's also like, mm, I looking back to see someone not doing a good job in it, I was like, oh, I am proud of myself and I did a good job in the moment.
Hmm.
And I can really much appreciate that. But also, like these lessons that go through it, it's like, oh, I don't ever want to feel like that in a job again. I don't ever, like, I'm so happy with my job and my life now that it's just like,
Yes.
I would be happy to make a little bit less money just to be 10 times happier in the work that I do, you know? And so it's just like the lessons might come later, but I do feel that I've like really had closure in that moment, like
Yeah.
not in a such as an example of a non-romantic way of like, huh, I can put that down now. And it
Yeah.
took me over 6 months to do it because I would think about it and whatnot. But like, you know, you still hear, you know, from your friends working on that job. I was like, oh, huh, do they kind of miss me? was I doing better than this person? Kind of thing. So it was just
I
like,
love that.
okay. Yeah, I do appreciate it. So it's like I have gotten this professional kind of closure about it, and that feels really good internally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it's almost like hearing about an ex and he's not happy in his new relation.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I was like,
like he came to explore himself and then immediately jumped into a relationship with somebody he didn't fucking know. And he don't like her. And he's like, hey, still thinking about you. It's like that. That's what that
yeah.
sounded
Yeah.
like. Very, very much. NASA is still thinking about you.
This has never happened, but the fantasy I have in my life is like, what if they ask me back and I'll be like, mm.
That could have that's a pass. That's a high pass. High pass. And we're gonna talk about that on the show as soon as it fucking happens. But
Oh, as
let's
soon as
talk
it happens,
about
got the cheese may. Yeah.
let's like dive into giving yourself advice on how to get closure, how to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like how to give yourself closure. So again, I always say it's a thing that you give yourself. Like maybe someone can help you get along to that path, but it's up to you to decide when you finally had it. So it's like why you can't wait for someone else to hand it to you. Like again, part of the process is the journey. You have to go through it, which really
Yeah,
might feel icky and gross, but it's just like waiting for someone to give you closure is like waiting for the person who hurt you to heal you. The environment that made you sick is not going to make you well,
dude,
you know?
that's legit.
Absolutely. And it's like if you wait on them, you risk stalling your own healing.
Mhm.
Like, why are you waiting on someone else who may not be where you're at emotionally? Or maybe they're like, no, I feel fine. And there's like, what? You know?
Yeah,
It's like maybe they don't like, oh, okay, well, take your time, do whatever you need. Like, doesn't matter. But it's like it's like if you wait on them, you risk stalling your own healing. Like you are with yourself your entire life. Everywhere you go, there you are. So it's just like you have to make yourself a priority on what is
yeah,
important to you. Is like, hey, I I need to move on from this. So it's
yeah,
like true closure happens when you stop looking at the door they walked out of and start opening a new one for yourself, whether that's a window, whatever it is. But it's just like I'm I'm not going to
knock
worry about that
down
door you
that
walked out.
wall, bitch, and
Yeah.
march your ass through.
Yes, a
Yes,
1000%.
yes. You have to acknowledge what happened without like you cannot fucking romanticize that shit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can't romanticize it. It's
That's a
going
good
to
idea.
like it's going to stall your healing.
Mm-hmm.
One, if you romanticize it, you're going to start saying shit like, "Oh, it wasn't that bad. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that bad. Maybe I was too much." Bitch, I said that. I said that. Maybe I was too much. Maybe I, maybe nagged, or whatever. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't mean to hurt me. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, girl, honesty. Be honest with yourself about what happened in that relationship, at that job, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Why you left, why they left, why it laid you off. All of it's for a reason. All of it
Mm-hmm.
is a lesson. You got to state the facts, state them, how they made you feel, the
Yeah.
patterns you saw, friendship, relationship, all of that. Acknowledge those real ass patterns. Don't gloss over that fucking pain.
Mm-hmm.
Reframe it. Trying to make them look like the good guy. Oh my God, I did that so much. I did that so fucking much. Oh, he's going through shit. I don't give a fuck now if you're going through shit. You know who's going through shit? Other men that I am dating. Worse shit. Worse. And they still make me a fucking priority. So don't
Mm-hmm.
don't don't romanticize like whatever potential of a relationship that
Mm-hmm.
you saw because you're saying that shit to yourself. Closure starts when you're seeing what really, really was going on.
I would
Not
say, as an
what it,
advice, like write it down when you're angry.
yes.
Write it down when you're angry.
Write down what they did.
So when you're not angry anymore, and then it starts, and then you start to romanticize it, just to be like, oh my God,
Oh,
like, that's right. They did do that or whatnot. It's just like, yeah,
oh,
absolutely. Absolutely.
absolutely no.
Yeah. So it's just like, You're absolutely right about don't reframe it. Do not romanticize it. It's so easy to do. It is so easy to do. But I would also say like acceptance. Accept what you cannot change. And like this part is really hard. It's like we always love a really good like what if fantasy, especially when it feels unresolved. We want to make things complete. But it's
Yeah.
like but part of giving yourself closure is releasing the illusion that more effort, more time, more love could have changed the outcome. You cannot outlove somebody into being a better person.
You can't. You
Mm-mm.
can't love you can't love somebody into fixing themselves.
Mm-mm. No, it's like it all has to come from within. So it's just like acceptance isn't about saying it was okay. It's about saying this happened, it hurt, and I will not stay stuck here.
Yes, and then immediately forgive yourself. Forgive
Mm.
yourself
Yeah.
because you probably are carrying some shame or regret or guilt. Like I was embarrassed.
Hmm.
I felt very, very guilty for not putting myself first. I felt embarrassed that I was like telling people like, no, 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 this is a real relationship when they weren't like believing it. And I had to like really be like, that wasn't I'm gonna forgive myself because that's not really my fault. He made me feel like that was real.
Yeah.
And I might have stayed too long. I might have been, I don't know if I was missing signs, but I might have been ignoring signs. But I
Hmm.
was definitely breaking down my own damn boundaries to try to get him to love me more.
Hmm.
I had to kind of forgive myself, and you have to do that. You have to forgive yourself. You did the best you could
Hmm.
with the awareness that you were having, like that you had at the time.
Yeah, and
Really.
I think shame is such a powerful emotion. And it feels, lack of a better word, just so icky.
I knew
And
you
I
were gonna say icky.
icky. It's just
It
icky. Like
does. It's
because
it.
and
Ugh.
there's a lot of people like I carried a lot of shame about like the end of my divorce, like were people disappointed in me. People aren't living your life. And so it's just like to have to get rid of the shame or like process through the shame, just be like, I'm not gonna feel ashamed that I stayed longer than I should have, that I self-abandoned. It's like, yeah, that happened. I know not to do that anymore. I'm
Yeah.
going to be stronger in my boundaries and what I want.
Yeah.
And then it's like it feels icky, but it's just also like don't let shame keep you in a place where you know you don't belong.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Hmm.
I love a good mantra. I love a good
Hmm.
mantra. I love talking to myself in the mirror. We've talked about this multiple times on this show.
Hmm.
Talk to your face in the mirror. I forgive myself for not knowing better.
Yeah.
I forgive myself for needing love.
Hmm.
Like we can't not acknowledge that we need love. We can't not acknowledge that sometimes that need clouds our judgment. Forgive yourself.
Hmm.
I deserve to move forward without carrying this bullshit.
Yeah.
Look yourself right in the eye. You deserve to move forward. You do not deserve to carry this bullshit.
Hmm.
And say it a couple times. Say it for a week straight. Tell me how you fucking feel. You're going
Yeah.
to feel fine.
Yeah, mantras work. When after my husband left, like I felt like so small and like it like a little child almost, like you're abandoned. And so like how what I was like emotionally like resorted to, but I would look myself in the mirror and be like, I am worthy of love. Just because
Hmm.
I don't feel loved right now, like I am still worthy of it and deserving of it. Like
Hmm.
this is not the end,
Hmm.
you know? And so it's really powerful. And
It's
so it
really
was just like
powerful.
I was like maybe I didn't believe it or feel it, but like I wanted to believe it so badly, you know?
Well, listen, you can talk yourself into it by doing your own little ritual.
Yes, you can.
It,
So
bless
again,
it, burn it.
yeah, create your own rituals. So it's again, write down the shitty stuff.
Yes.
So you know it. And then you're like, when you're ready to put it down, you're ready for it to get dusty. Like I always felt so much better like after journaling. Like, oh, I got it out. I got it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to write a letter. What I did was I wrote a letter to him.
Mm-hmm.
It was long too. It was like 5, 6 pages long. This is
Mm-hmm.
how you made me. This is how I felt about you. This
Mm-hmm.
is how you made me feel. This is what I thought was going to happen. This is, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
I am forgiving myself for trusting you. Like I went through the entire fucking thing, and then I lit up my barbecue outside because it was quite a document,
Mm-hmm.
and I burned that shit. And seriously, felt like just the release of the words.
Yeah, and it's like you just get it out. Like you don't have to send it to them. You don't have to like
Don't send it to them.
they don't ever have to
Don't
know. Don't do it.
don't. In
Just
fact, my advice is don't fucking send that shit to them.
don't give them
Don't
your
send it.
power that you're thinking
No.
about it. And so it's like one, but I'm like, it has to go somewhere. So let it out, whether it's getting out through exercise, getting out through spirituality, whatever it is. It's just like get it out of yourself if you don't have anyone to talk to, and then
Yes.
burn it, release it. Like going
Yes.
through these these ceremonies are actually very, very helpful, to be
Mhm.
like, whether it's just through the actions, it's like, I can start to move on. So it's like,
Yeah.
what I also love is like cleansing your space, sage, incense, open window, release
Sage.
the energy, just clean. Like if you have, like,
And
maybe your mind just feels a little less decluttered of
the
just like,
trick, the
what?
trick of that is
Mhm.
while you're doing your saging, while you're doing your smudging, while you're lighting your incense, while you're Rachel loves a white candle. You think about why you're doing it. Just think
Mhm.
about it. That's all
Intention.
you need. I am cleansing my space. I'm getting this person's energy the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Once all of this smoke dissipates, all of their energy will be gone. The smoke is cleansing out their energy. It's like almost absorbing it and
Mm-hmm.
making it disappear. Think about it like that. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
just a charcoal. Charcoal is
Yeah, it dissipates almost like the smoke you see is their energy. It's like in it, you know what I'm
fine.
saying? And as the smoke dissipates, so does their energy and it is going away. And just think about that the whole time.
The whole time
The
cleansing.
whole time. It's
So
so good for you.
this is something we both love to do. Like bury something symbolic, like a note, a photo, even a rock holding your pain. Throw it in a lake.
Yeah.
Be done.
So I love a little ritual where you just write keep like the words of your emotions of how you're feeling towards that person. And then if you don't have like a photo you want to bury or something from them that you want to bury,
Hmm.
um, take a rack,
Hmm.
take a rock and wrap that paper around the rock,
Hmm.
like crumple it around the rock, and then bury the rock.
Hmm.
And just understand that that rock is taking that pain away from you and just holding it into the earth, and the earth is going to absorb it as the earth breaks down
Hmm.
that piece of paper. It is absorbing that energy and getting it away from you, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
All of that. But as the earth is absorbing that energy, your pain is just going to be dissipating.
And then do all of this with intention.
Yes.
Lighting that candle with intention, saging with intention, burying that rock with intention, making a plan.
Right.
All has intention.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. Take a bath. Oh, I love a ritual bath.
Mm.
Listen, ladies, if you can get some lavender, some
Hmm.
rose petals, some Epsom salt, that's really all you need.
Hmm.
Really all you need. Put that Epsom salt in there. It's clean, it's cleansing you. It is sucking out any of the negative energy, negative memories. It's actually detoxification. So just
Hmm.
detoxing from your skin, taking all of that out as you're in the water. And the water is absorbing all of that. The rose petals is for healing of your heart. The lavender is for calming of the mind. Just put those in there. Understand that that's what's going. And as that water drains, make sure you catch all that shit. Don't let that shit go down your drain.
Hmm.
And then go bury that stuff outside.
True. The best advice I ever got was like, I was just like, this thing is eating me alive. And they're like, go take a bath, make the water as hot as you can stand it, and you cry. And you cry in that bath for as long as you need to until the water runs cold, and then you fill it up again and you do not get out of that bath until you are done crying. You can cry about it again, but like don't let it eat you alive and get it out. And
Get
I
it
was like,
out.
it was like someone, it's like someone who was just giving me permission because I didn't know what to do. Because I was like 20 years old. Like I still a young adult,
Actually, that's
you know?
such lovely advice to give a 20-year-old.
Yeah, so I was very young and I just didn't know how to process these new big feelings, you know?
Yeah.
And so it was just like another person, just not that much older than me. She's like, but she was a girl's girl before we had a name for it. She was like, you get in the bathtub and you cry it out.
Yep.
Cry it out. And you stay in there as long as you need to. And
That's
I was
such
like,
great advice.
it really was. So,
Well, my advice
hmm
is to do what I've never done before. And like I said, I've been having my little drink on
hmm
the show,
Yeah.
but other than that, I've pretty much gone through this very sober. I have
hmm
not been drowning my sorrows.
Again,
I
intentionally.
intentionally, I was like, okay, this breakup happened. I cannot be drinking and just drowning my sorrows in alcohol because that was one of the things that bothered me
hmm
is that was increasing, and two, it's just not healthy. So go through your breakup sober.
hmm
That's my first thing. Feel everything. Feel
hmm
everything. Do your long cry hot shower.
Yeah.
Do it. Do your bath. Do your letter. Burn that shit. Go through block,
hmm
but feel those emotions because when you feel them, sis, you can get through this shit so damn fast. So
hmm
damn fast. It gives you a unique strength going through it. It really, really made me feel like, okay, not only did I learn the lesson about what I will and will not how I will not break down my boundaries. I learned that big ass lesson really quickly. I got over all of that breakup by not doing what I used to do, which was drink.
Yeah.
Um, and it made me heal much, much faster.
And you're
I just,
also not sending any sort of text messages in the
oh
middle
my
of the
God,
night that you
I'm not
could
being
regret
embarrassing.
later. Yeah.
Oh my God, I did that in my third marriage.
hmm
Sent him oh my God, secondhand embarrassment for Jackie from 3 years ago. So literally never again will I go through a breakup and drink it through it.
Mm-mm.
Just stop drinking while I have to deal with it. And then when I've done with it, now you know what I'm saying? Like now
Yeah.
I can have a cocktail. It's dinner. I'm not drowning. I'm not sending text messages, not being ridiculous.
Yeah. So it's like, it's like one situation at a time. You don't
Yeah.
have to have it compounded of like, now I
Yeah.
have embarrassment. Now I have shame. Now I have new shame on top of the old
Yeah.
shame, you know?
Yeah. New guilt on top of old guilt.
You're not adding more things to now like work through.
Yeah. Avoiding them.
Yeah.
Avoiding them.
Yes. So again, we're just talking about does closure even exist? Yes, closure absolutely exists, but it is an inside job.
Inside comes
Mm-hmm.
from
Comes
you.
from
It
inside.
will never come from the outside source.
It will not. It will not. It is a gift you give yourself.
Right.
hmm So it's like, and you can have acceptance without full understanding.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You can.
And if
There's
you never have it, that's okay too, you know?
right. Don't believe in the illusion that there's going to be one conversation or one apology or one moment that's going to make it all okay. There
hmm
is not. This is not a movie. Do it for yourself. Do it for yourself as soon as possible. And try it. Try doing it for yourself sober.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's just like sometimes you have to let yourself heal without fairness or justice. Like
literally.
just acceptance, like shit, it is what it is.
Yeah,
It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
it is.
And yeah, and it's just like you went through this recent breakup fairly quickly, but it was also a a short-term relationship. that you
Yeah.
hoped was a long-term relationship. But that's not to say that it didn't hurt any less than anything else. Your
It
feelings were
hurt.
real.
It hurt a lot.
Hmm.
A lot, a lot. I
Yeah.
was genuinely in love and in a mindset that I was in my final relationship.
Yeah. And
I can't even say that with a straight face. Now I know
right.
myself and now I'm like, oh, stupid.
Stupid. But it's like even though Jackie it didn't take a long time for her to like move through these feelings, but it's like sometimes it does take a long time.
It does.
And that's okay too. And it's
Yeah,
like healing also is not linear. Like you're going to move backwards. One day you're going to feel better about it. Then you're like, oh, I'm regressing. And you're like, okay. Or I'm moving through like the 7 stages of like grief or whatever. You're like, I am stuck in anger. It's okay.
literally.
It's okay, you know?
Yes.
And then it's like acceptance. It's just like, yeah, we'll all get there eventually. But it's like, it's up to you to say when.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it really is. It really is. Well, I don't have any hot takes. I've given a ton of advice.
Yeah.
Do you have any parting thoughts?
Parting thoughts. I think anything we just kind of have said before, like,
Yeah.
it is the gift you give yourself, and it takes time. And I'm gonna give you the validation. Take all the time you need.
Take all the
Take
time you
all
need.
the
And
time you need.
I really genuinely think that my lesson
Mhm.
is recognize when you're dropping your boundaries. Take closure by the fucking balls. Give it to yourself.
Mhm.
And if you can do it sober, I promise it's faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's faster. Big
And
time.
yeah, even if you do get that final conversation, that final anything, it's like that's not gonna necessarily, it may
It
not give
actually
you what you think you are gonna
it
get.
actually might hurt you all over again.
Yeah.
It actually might rip off the scab. So
Hmm.
give it to yourself. Don't try to have the last conversation. Just give it to your damn self. Remember, it is not a loss,
Mm-mm.
it is an alignment.
Yes. Yes.
I'll be saying that a lot. I
Not a
love that
loss in
phrase.
alignment. Yeah.
I love that phrase.
Like my life's not falling apart, it's falling into place.
Yeah.
Yes. Girl, I see you shuffling those cards.
I've been shuffling
Been
through this
shuffling.
whole episode every once in a while. I find myself actually during the day
Hmm.
sometimes just shuffling when people start talking to me. And it's been interesting what's come to like light when that happens. So I feel like I'm getting close with this big black deck.
Well, that is the whiskey bent portion, and now we're getting into the spellbounding. So, are you ready for the tarot reading, Jackie?
I'm so
Yeah,
ready.
we are ready to knock 3 times.
Go.
Okay, what do we got in store today? What is Spirit telling us today?
Oh my God.
Mm,
Okay,
this is gonna be good.
first and foremost,
Okay,
hold on to your seat, sister, because the world came up
strap
and the
in.
world came up reversed. This is about incomplete cycles.
What card is it again?
Sorry, the world in reverse.
The
Oh,
world
you
in
can see
reverse.
it. See
Okay.
how cool that looks?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's about incomplete, the world spins, but it's upside down. So incomplete cycles, delayed endings, the world reversed speaks to that like lingering feeling of unfinished business.
Hmm.
It's your wake up call. This card is your wake up call.
Absolutely.
It's not gonna be delivered with its bow tied neatly for you. Ask yourself, why the fuck am I, if you're like stuck in that and you know you need this closure,
Mm-hmm.
ask yourself, why are you waiting? What is stopping me
Mm-hmm.
from giving it to myself? Like, ask yourself that for real.
Yeah.
Go back to those times when you got really pissed off and you took Rachel's advice and you wrote down what was pissing you off. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What's stopping you? Second one is the Five of Swords. Why is it upside down? It was not upside down when it came out. Five of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
This is about that emotional conflict. Look, he's getting stabbed in the head. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Five of Swords, silent battles, lingering words, all of that shit. This card is just about tensions and unresolved communications. Things are left unsaid, words are cut off. This is basically saying to you, the Five of Swords is saying you could keep fighting for answers, but why? You're fucking killing yourself. You're killing yourself.
Yeah. I think in the seeking the closure outside of yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's something unresolved. You
Mm-hmm.
know that you need to give that closure to yourself. So just like you need to understand, why are you still there?
Mm-hmm.
You have to resolve it. You cannot wait for somebody to choose accountability. You have to choose it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Choosing peace over clarity feels unfair, but it's really, really liberating. It's really liberating when you choose your own peace, even though it's like, no, goddamn it, they need to know they did me fucking wrong. And then finally, we have the Five of Cups, and this is just grief and really the illusion of loss. So look really, really close. You see 5 cups, and
Mm-hmm.
2 of them are upright, but 3 of them are upside down. And what do we say about cups, right? They fill us up,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if 3 of them are upside down, our cup is spilling out.
Yeah.
Only 2 of our cups are full.
Mm-hmm.
So it's giving you this illusion that you've lost something, but that's not the case. You still have 2 whole cups all to yourself. You haven't lost yourself. Giving yourself this closure will actually help you get those cups filled up again. This is your permission
Mm-hmm.
right now to grieve,
Yes.
to let go, to turn around and re-engage with everything that is in the present, in the now. You didn't lose anything. It's not a loss. It's an alignment. Also, I had a card pop out while we were talking
Okay.
about healing.
Oh,
So
it's hard.
it is the fucking Queen of Cups.
Queen.
Yep. And what we say about cups filling up,
Filling
the
up.
Queen, we're talking about healing. We're talking about self-forgiveness. We're talking about listening to your intuition and letting go of anybody who you're waiting to give you closure,
Mm-hmm.
and do it for yourself. The Queen of Cups is the soul's like anchor almost. She reminds you to feel your emotions because they're not weaknesses, they're fucking superpowers. You're allowed to feel deeply. You're allowed to be soft and strong. You're allowed to offer yourself compassion.
Mm-hmm.
She is inviting you to really forgive yourself and take time to listen to your intuition once you've decided to go through that like closure journey. She's your reminder that your cup is still full. You know what you're doing. You know why you're doing this. You know why you're needing that closure.
Yeah.
Listen to your intuition. So from lingering pain of the world, moving through all of your realizations. Don't kill yourself. Forgive yourself. You are still here. The Queen of Cups is here to remind you that you are emotionally whole, wildly intuitive, and you're going to be completely at peace with what no longer fits you.
Yes.
That's the
Yes,
reading.
Queen. That is a good reading.
Click, 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 click.
Yes. Oh gosh. Damn it, Spirit. You got me again.
Ugh.
Mm.
Here's to that.
Cheers, Clinkies.
Thanks.
Mm.
I love this deck.
Well, oh, Jackie, what a great, fabulous show. Are you ready to join me over on our Patreon?
Not.
Why not?
Why not?
Chonies Chocolates Cheese May. Oh, it gets
Mm-hmm.
good over there. Well, don't forget to join us over on our Patreon. It is $3.95 per month. If you want all the behind the scenes details of our lives that we cannot share here on YouTube or on the podcast. But until then, thank you so much for joining us for another fantastic and fabulous episode of Whiskey Bent
Spellbound with Black.
and Whitefield. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.